Hello everyone, Maurice and welcome to Things Invest. Talk about investing, finance, fresh women. For today's data items only. The investment topic today will be Ethereum ticker ETH. First, I want to say happy Sunday, everybody. We have a great weekend so far. Respect to Ethereum, I'm recording as of 8:38 a.m. on the Eastern Time. Currently trading like the $2,607, down about 0.40% so far. We just kind of hover on a sideways fashion, obviously, with that surge that we had yesterday, all-time high of $2,639. We're trying to attempt to hit that $2,750 level, which is the next level of substantiveness that we could get to, right? But how substantive is it based on the historical trend so far? It's it's a decent level of substantiveness, right? And we ideally want to get there, obviously, with that new level of support, which provides more gravitas and more foundational support as we further obviously surge, and propel the price point for Ethereum going forward, right? So I was reading the news article earlier this morning just to see like any new activity, any new updates that are truly substantive, right? And collectively speaking, the news activity has been kind of, neutral this morning or the last 12 hours so far. I guess, news reporters have to sleep as well. They do have to take vacations on weekends as well. But Bazinga came out with an article about 40 minutes ago, or 36 minutes ago to be more precise. The title of the article is saying that Ethereum London upgrades expect to lower transaction fees, fight inflations with coin burns, right? And I was reading on the articles on just see what it's talking about, right, substantively, right? And I was like also try to look out for key adjective to see if this article is a persuasive article or is it just more of an informational article that's try to explain the concept to us, right? And based on the read so far, I would say it's definitely leaning more towards a persuasive article on obviously showing the value proposition of Ethereum currently and how that juxtaposes with the upgrades coming, right? And what would that be? What would be the benefits of upgrading to this new value proposition going forward, and how can that be also helping with the macro issues that we're currently cultivating, the inflationary pressure that we are also try to help fix from the Fed side, but also as we slowly recover back to the economy after the COVID situation, right? So definitely a positive article, explain a lot about what would the subsequent proposition on lowering transaction costs by and also potentially lowering gas fee costs as well, as obviously we further improve the technological side of the spectrum. So definitely positive overall. I would say you could go ahead and take a read of it, but I wouldn't really read too much into it. It's kind of again supplement regurgitating news that we kind of know already, but obviously some people are gonna read it like if this was like a new news, right? Or something that it just get picked up from one of the key media publication company, Bazinga. So that will obviously drive some buying pressure across the board, right? But beside that, I don't see anything else that's truly substantive. We kind of just talked about some of the news yesterday already, right? With respect to Ethereum yield farm tokens up 200% in a week after Coinbase listing. Again, that's another article from Decrypt that's kind of regurgitating again. And then we got one, again, right from Business Insider, the Bitstamp CEOs, with a stamp of approval on his impression on the interest in Ether staking and why he believes Ethereum 2.0 can be a strong value proposition for our global economy going forward. And then some other regurgitating news. Again, right, with respect to Gary Vaynerchuk paid $3.7 million in Ethereum for the CryptoPunk NFT. Obviously, just another name drop type of thing, right? And then another article from Bazinga about like 26 hours ago on the trends of Ethereum being reversed, in a technical perspective. But obviously, we have known that it's been reversing for about 10, 11 days now, right? Ever since that drop that we hit all the way to the 1750, which I was screaming that we should be buying at that level, right? So obviously, as per my last two videos so far, the media affectation is definitely, acting a little bit, strange, right? Why this consecutive reinforcement news? Why this consecutive regurgitations of persuasive news, if you may, right? On pumping Ethereum. So I think the spidey sense is definitely rising for all of us, not just including me, but I think you guys are detecting this right now. We are in the business of risk mitigation and being, little detectives here and there, right? And based on the prognosis so far, it's definitely leaning more toward a fishy suspicions type of spectrum, right? So I'm gonna go through the technical analysis again to see how we're trending going forward ahead of the London fork. Are we gonna see more of a buy the rumors, sell the news type of affectation? How high can we potentially go from here? So stay tuned, stick around, let's make some money. So moving on to the technical analysis for Ethereum ticker ETH, I'm recording of 8:46 a.m. on Eastern time. Current trend like the $2,600, down about 0.71% so far. Right, let's take a look at the technical analysis, with the consecutive positive days we've had so far, right? And including the weekend affectation, which was supposed to be normalized, people taking some profits, because of the safe haven effect, but because of the positive news been percolating during this weekend, I would say, during this Friday and Saturday, per our discussion so far, it's been relatively aggressive, right? We get like 12 positive news in the course of 2 days. Everything has been, again, supplements on, reinforcing, regurgitating type of news that are frankly just old news try to stir up the pot to make it news again. So it's like fried rice with like overnight, ingredients that you're left over, and you try to basically stir it back in the pot, and you try to cook the fried rice to make it look like it's brand new again. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like a Chinese thing, I guess. I guess I eat a lot of leftovers, or overnight type of dish from the night before. That's like typically my daily cadence, I guess, as a Chinese living in the Chinese family. But anyway, so with respect to the consecutive green days we've had so far, you could see that RSI is highly overstretched right now, right? Just look at that historically. We are, touching that golden line right now, which if we break that, will be extremely overbought, right? Which is comparable to the ones we had before, right? So I think the plays coming up would be, based on the fact that we have not seen any negative news so far, and it's very, very obvious that we are mainly driven by news. The price level has been mainly driven by, news influencing on people, right? And you see a lot of FOMO action that's happening right now, right? That's just the way the chart is showing right now. The emotions are running high. You can see how fast and how, stretched up the line has been going, right? So I think the next level that we could potentially get to ahead of the London fork that's going to be happening on the 4th, right? So basically like 3 days from now, would be the 2,750. I don't think it will be, not logical for us to get there. We tried to get there yesterday, but you can only incur that much buying pressure, right? People are, I mean, even to the most oblivious investors out there, right? Seeing this many green days consecutively, you could, the media affectation can get weakened over time, so. But if we get more reinforcements, we get like massive media coverage, on let's say the like later today on the 2nd and obviously the 3rd, we'll obviously get more buying pressure, and you will basically invite more investors to come into the table, to chase the pump, because like, oh wow, it's like pumping so much. It looks like history is repeating itself, like comparable to what happened back in April, late April, all the way to May 12th, right? And you saw that pump was relatively massive, right, for like about 10 days, right? Over 10 days, right? So the next level ideally will be the 2,750, which is a level of substantiveness right here, right? Do we see breaking above that? We might, if we have a lot of positive news again, right? Because of how artificial it's been so far, right? So artificially to pump up even higher would be possible, right? But I think 2,750 would be logical as a next leap, right? Contingent on obviously, with moderate to, slash positive level of positive news coming, and that should be the play, right? And we should be pumping or hovering around the comparable level up until the 4th, right? And then the fourth, I think that will be the day that you might expect like it's going to surge up even higher to all-time high. I think that's what most investors are thinking, but I think it's the opposite way. We are basically buying the rumor right now, which is what we see in front of us. We're buying the rumor, and rumors are news basically, right? Or old news, basically foreshadowing or reinforcing or persuading investors to come in, and then sell the news after we get confirmatory signal on the fourth, right? And I think the fourth will be, I don't know, it wouldn't be like a drastic transformation that is going to change the world, if you may. It is just a form of transition, right? And I think people might, feel some sort of way of, disappointment or lack of excitement, and that could subsequently drive them sell off, right? Again, whatever goes up really, really fast comes down just as fast. And you could see how emotionally high we are on a macro emotional perspective from all investors right now. RSI is highly overbought. A correction is due, and it's healthy, right? I would really be worried if we keep going up all the way, because like the line would go all the way to somewhere around like where we were at before, right? And if that's the case, even including myself, right? If we jumped up that fast, I'll probably sell some, right? Despite me holding like 55 Ethereum at the moment, right? That's just a logical play. When you see that much emotions running high, just at the peak of a little cross section of just a peak of little curvature, right? And you form that cross section, that's a death cross, and you blow up, basically fall off the cliff from there, right? So I'll watch out for you guys. For those that have bought in, hold right now. Do not sell for like a quick gains, because I think we could potentially get higher a little bit, right? Like the 2,750 is a substantive level that we'll get to, right? And I think the media affectation is going to get us there potentially, despite RSI's overbought, but we're not like completely overbought to a level of extreme, right? I think we can potentially leap up if history was going to repeat itself. But again, if you buy it now as a new position, oof, you have to hold it for a while. I like, would you rather be making like a couple, like 100 something bucks of gains or 200 bucks of gains, or would you rather be losing potentially like 500 bucks of gains, right? Something to be mindful of. Think about that. It's your decision. So apply logic and apply methodology, and risk mitigate, risk control your bleeding going forward. Just to recap all numbers and technical analysis again, right? If you want to buy in the current level, like anywhere around like the 2,450, which is a more substantive level, the current level we're just kind of hovering. We're not really, it's not really a substantive level. It's just a flat number that we're closer to 2,500. The next leap up is truly the 2,750. So I would probably wait off. But if you bought in already, and you want to just have some skin in the game, and because we do have some time ahead of the London fork, and then we should potentially sell the news from there. So buy it now, that's fine, but just know that the risk is really, really dramatically increased at the moment because of the news, how manipulative it has been, and how artificial and obvious it has been. You know what I'm trying to say? So definitely use your spidey sense to understand the dynamics, right? Ideally for me, for me to even have an idea of buying, I would be ideally buying at the 2,250 or 2,150, which is a level if we go back down to, that will be the 28th time of testing that level, right? But long-term wise, corporate adoption 9,800, 20%, 4.0 times your money if you buy at the 2,450. Alright, so this is where they respect my technical analysis on Ethereum ticket ETH. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of the Sunday and a great rest of the day. Or if your Sunday's already over, I hope you guys had a great weekend, and I look forward to the Monday coming up. But yeah, hopefully you guys stay safe and stay cool. I know it's summertime, gets a little hot, and also like the Delta variants with respect to like the COVID. It's a little worrisome. It seems like the case is spiking, so definitely be cautious and don't be still wear your mask, and use hand sanitizers and wash your hands, and try to stay safe, right? Because I don't want you guys to get sick, and that could be you know, quite hindering. But anyways, hopefully you guys stay cool and stay safe and stay happy. And yeah, I'll be here if you have any questions that you want to reach out. You know, I'm always here for you guys. I always try to respond accordingly, on time. But yeah, stay tuned for the next one. Take care. Bye.